Hello everyone, it's Cassie. Welcome back for another Trinity Stamps video. Today we're going to be playing with a couple of new products. We're playing with the Apple of My Eye die set, and we're going to be playing with the Creepy Candy Apple add-on. We're going to show you two different ways to add some gloss to cards by making some shaped cards, and then we'll add some gloss. So we're going to grab out our die. We're going to start with our Apple of My Eye die, and I'm going to go ahead and cut down two pieces of cardstock that measure 8 inches by 4 inches because our cards are going to be roughly about 4 by 4. I measured our little apple to make sure that we were going to have the right size. And you do want to make sure that you have these cut and folded so that you can, or not, yeah, cut down so that you can add your die to the side of it. And then you can run it through our die cutting machine, making sure that you leave a little bit of a gap there so that those pieces don't get cut apart. You want it to look like a little note card. And it looks kind of funky right now because you have that straight edge, but once you add your apples to the front, they'll just look like normal little note cards. So we're going to pull out that one large piece again. We're going to cut that out of red, and we're also going to cut it out of green because I want a red and a green apple. And then that's it. That's all we need our Apple of My Eye die for this particular set of cards. And then I'm going to pull out our pieces separately, and we're going to die cut those out. I've got these two pieces here. I'm going to cut the bigger one out of black and that smaller one out of gray to add some color variation. So once those are put on top, it's going to look like one is obviously more in the background and the other one is a little bit more on top. And I die cut out another small little piece of that light gray, and then we are going to die cut out a face from this caramel. So there are so many options for this. You can do these up just to look like regular little fall caramel apples. This one is going to look like a poison apple. And I did just use glue on the outside edge to attach that down to the front. And then this little piece we're going to attach, that's going to look like a little bit of a highlight as well. And I only use glue on the edges of that bigger piece because I do want to die cut this, and not that it's going to have a hard time getting through the glue, but I just want to make sure that everything cuts just fine. So we'll attach that down, our little face, nose and eyes, with a little bit of mint tape, and then we're going to run that through our small die cutting machine a couple different times because I want to make sure that everything cuts well. And that's another reason why I used the mint tape, just to make sure that nothing shifted. And we're going to run that through our die cutting machine again, and then we'll pull out those pieces. And so you'll see we have, oh, I love it. It's just so much fun. So much fun. Yeah. And you'll see those red pieces. I screwed that up. I originally was thinking I was going to put this on the red apple. I decided to put it on the green apple. So just even coloring that, don't pay any attention. We're going to cut that out of green because I want this to be a green poison apple. And then I'm going to color that outside edge just with a little bit of a darker color because that's going to look like a low light around the eye, like a shadow. And I'm going to get rid of the other piece because I won't need it. But I do like how these eyes will cut out that little shadow piece, and then you can add that to it. And you'll see as we get to it. But yeah, just coloring those with an alcohol marker. And now we can start actually assembling to the front of our green apple. So I'll take my Crafty Gluefriend and we'll attach down our black and gray poison caramel. I don't know about you, but I think Halloween is so much fun. Not necessarily for the gory or the scary, and I've said that before, but for the cutesy. And I feel like these little caramel apples are kind of fun. I think it would actually be a lot of fun to do these. I used to do parties with my kids. You know, they'd invite their friends over, and we would do all these themed Halloween foods. I loved that. Oh, I miss it. All right, and then we're attaching those down using some reverse tweezers and putting that down with our Crafty Gluefriend. And you can kind of see then it gives that shadowy look inside the eyes and inside the nose. All right, and we'll attach that down to the front of a note card. And I'm just going to add that glue to the back of our apple and attach down our note card to the back of that, and there you have this cute little shaped card. We're not done with it yet. We need to add a sentiment, but we're going to move on to our other caramel apple. And so this little piece of caramel we're cutting out of some craft cardstock, and I'm going to cut the stick out as well using a lighter craft And then here's where we're going to add some shine. So I'm going to bring in not only some embossing ink, but also some clear embossing powder. And I don't know why I had a little bit of a brain burp there. Couldn't think of how to attach that. I think about it after for the second swipe. But here we go. I'm putting some embossing ink over the front, just all over that background. And then we're going to cover that with some of our clear embossing powder. You just want to make sure that you cover the whole thing. And you only need to do this one time. One time is going to be enough to give you plenty of gloss. But let's go ahead and now heat set that. That's where the magic happens. It's going to start looking glossy once that clear embossing powder gets heated up. Ah, I love embossing. That is magical, really. All right. Try not to burn my fingers. And this is where it would have, having it attached. I realize if I had attached it to a piece of paper, that would have saved my fingers a little bit. So I do realize that. I'm going to grab a piece of paper and we're going to attach that down with a little bit of that mint tape. And then we can, now it's an extension of our fingers, we can ink that up again with some more of that clear embossing ink. And then we can cover it with some more of our embossing powder. And you can do this as many times as you want. I stuck to just twice. I thought that was plenty. It's going to reheat the powder behind it, so it'll all kind of just be super cohesive. But it gives it some dimension the more you add, and it smooths it out as well. So I love it. I'm happy with it. We're going to add a little dimension to our apple as well, just by bringing in some Game Over ink along with one of our blending buddies. And we'll just ink that up on the edges, and then we'll attach down our caramel to the bottom of our apple using some more Crafty Gluefriend. And I decide to, so I don't over glue, I'm going to just attach some glue to the bottom of our apple and the top back of our caramel. And then I'll just attach that down to the front of our apple. And then we're going to then attach the stick to the back. Once I get everything to actually stick. This was some textured cardstock that I had in my stash. And now I'm measuring just to make sure that I don't have this stick going further than like 4 1/4, so it'll easily fit into an A2 sized envelope. I'm going to add some highlights with a white gel pen, and then we'll attach this down to the front of our other note card. And I'll just put the glue right to the note card, and then we can attach the apple down to it. And there you go, another shaped cute card. For our sentiment, I'm going to bring in an older set. This is called Punny Mummy. It came out last year. It's one of my favorites. It has so many cute little sentiments in it, and the little mummies are adorable. I did stamp it right on the front of our apples, and that was a no-go for me. Didn't love it. So now I'm going to go ahead and stamp that onto some white cardstock, and then use the matching die that goes along with it to die cut both of those out that say a special treat. These were just perfect for our apples. These would be cute to give to like a little teacher or something like that with a little gift card, a little Halloween gift card, or it wouldn't have to be to a teacher. It could be to a little friend or a neighborhood buddy or whatever. How cute. We've got a special treat. And now I'm going to show you the other way to add some gloss. Now this one is a little more time consuming, but I will say it is worth the effort. This is my favorite way to add the gloss. The downside to adding this gloss is that it takes more time. And this is some glossy accents. And it also takes time to dry. So not only does it take more time to put it on there and you're squeezing, so if you have hand issues, that is another thing. It also takes time to dry. So you'll need to set it off to the side, give it a good, I don't know, several hours. When it goes clear, it goes on milky like this, but when it goes to being clear, you will know it is dry. And I'm going to show you at the end of this video how good that looks. It adds not only the clear gloss, but it adds dimension to it as well. However, if this is just not going to work for you, that first way that I showed you is a great way as well. Using embossing powder is a quick way to get that gloss that you want, and you can add several layers and get it to be more dimensional. Like I said, I just love this way. I don't mind setting it off to the side to dry, and then coming back the next day and being just completely wowed by how that looks. But I love it. I think it looks awesome. It may not look so great now because it's kind of milky, but it definitely looks better later. I am just having it cover up what I did with my finger there. And then I'm going to bring in my pickup stick to pop some of the little bubbles. And then we'll let that dry, and I will show you how amazing these two cards look. So check that out. Is that not awesome? And you have these cute little shaped note cards. Oh, they make my heart happy. Love it. So I hope you love it too. If you do like this video and you like these cards, please be sure to hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And I do want to say a big thank you to all of you who have been supporting me through my affiliate links or just watching even the commercials help me as well. So I appreciate you, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, everybody.